not even mean Bowers game for me.
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back here today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Monster Crunch, the breakfast battle game from Big G Creative. This is for 2 to 5 players. Age is 9+. I'll take about 20 minutes to play. And in Monster Crunch, the breakfast battle game, you are going to be playing as classic characters from the Count Chocula brand of cereal. You got your Boo Berry, your Count Chocula, your Frankenberry. You're going to be playing as those characters in a cereal eating contest. It's actually a really simple ladder style game where everyone's going to be trying to play higher and higher numbers out of your hands with the eventual goal of playing all the cards in your hand. It's a light, simple game, but is it good? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Monster Crunch, the breakfast battle game. So first and foremost, we have our handy dandy rule booklet. 8 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. Very well done, should have you up and running in no time at all. Big thumbs up on the rule booklet. Also, I can teach you how to play right now because it is a very simple game. So in Monster Crunch, this is a ladder style game where you are going to try to play higher and higher numbers out of your hand, and when you can't do that, you're going to need to pass and hopefully gain some milk. The end goal is to have played the most cards at the end of 3 hands, and I'll explain that more a little bit later. So in Monster Crunch, let's go over the components, then let's get into the gameplay. So first and foremost, everybody's going to pick out one of the 5 monsters. Boo Berry, Fruit Yummy Mummy, Count Chocula, Fruit Brute, which is one I have not even heard of. I really want to try that one. And Frankenberry. And you're going to get the corresponding bowl, the corresponding cards, which, yes, do have their own unique card backs, which is a nice added touch. You're going to get your 2 special abilities. And everyone's going to start with 2 special abilities. You'll be able to use these once per game. So for mine, play a single card. That card's value is counted as double. Very good. And draw 2 cards. Not nearly as good as I would like it to be. Yeah, because it's high risk, high reward, I should say. It's good if you have a lot of milk tokens, though. And everybody's going to have their own 2 unique special abilities, which will be on these really thick tiles right here. So, when you first start the game, what you're going to do is you're going to draw 12 cards out of your deck, like so. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you're going to pick who goes first by who most recently had a bowl of cereal. And he's going to get a thing of milk. And I'll explain what the milk does in a second. So on your turn, you are going to play a number down. And the rules are, you have to play a number higher than the last person who played a number. So this isn't a particularly great hand to start with because I don't have a 1 or anything like that. But what I might do on my turn is I might play a 2. I might just play a 2 down, and so now the next person has to beat a 2. So they have to play a 2 or higher. So they might play a 2, then it might get to a 3, then I might go again, I might say 3, and then the next person might play a 5, and then a 6, and I'm looking right here, I'm like, all right, I'm more than happy to play I'll play this 8. So I'll play an 8 down here. Now, I didn't play the 7 because I want to potentially play the 6 and 7 together later, and I'll explain that more a little bit later. So the next player plays another 8, and then a 9, and it gets back to me, and then I play a 10. I'm going to play a 10 right there. Then the next player plays an 11 and then a 12. And I can play a 12. And hooray! And then it gets back to 14 and then 15. And now I have a choice. I do not have anything that is a 15 or higher because the numbers only go to 12. But what you can do is you can use your milk to combine numbers. Now the rules on how you combine numbers are very simple. You can either play one of the same number more over and over. So I could play 2 7s if I had 2 7s, or you could play numbers that are right next to each other. So I could play this 6 and this 7. That'd give me 13, but I need to be, what is it, at least 14, I think was the example. So I can play this 7, 8, and I'd say 15. Now I do have to turn in the milk, which is a bummer though. Eventually what's going to happen is, so let's pretend this guy plays a 16 over here. This person is going to pass. If you were one of the first people to pass, actually if you're not the last person to pass, I should say, you are going to get another milk token, and then you're going to put your pile into your score pile. So this person would take a milk token. I'm sitting over here looking at my special abilities. I could double a card, so I could actually get rid of one of these 10s and 11s if I wanted to, but I'm going to pass, and I'm going to, boom, take a milk token just like that. Then the next person kind of gets the shaft. The last person is not going to get a milk token, but we'll put these into our score pile. And then we're going to rinse, wash, and repeat with the person who went last going first again. And they're going to play yet another card. So let's just play, they play a 3, and then this player plays a 5, this player plays a 6, and then you get it. Now, you can go as many rounds as you want, but the big thing to notice is I just played a round. When a hand is over, that's when someone's entire hand has ran out. Once someone's entire hand has ran out, you are going to set all these cards you have right here back in the box. You're actually going to not score those points. You'll put everything in your cereal bowl into your scoring pile, and then you're going to draw a new hand of 12 cards. And there's exactly 36 cards. So you're going to play over the course of 3 hands, and whoever has the most points in their scoring pile is going to win the game. Now, one thing I'd recommend when you're doing the scoring is actually just look in the box, and the person who has the fewest number of cards in the box is going to win the game, because that's generally an easier way to count it. You get nothing for not using your special abilities, so you are going to want to use your special abilities at some point during the game. And that, in a nutshell, is how you're going to play the Monster Crunch Breakfast Battle Game. Alrighty then, Monster Crunch, the breakfast battle game from Big G Creative. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First on the con side, 2 to 5 players is a nice player count, but I liked it best at the higher player counts. I just thought it was a more interesting game. 2 players, it's just obviously back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I liked it best where there was some ebbs and flows in the game. Also, with 5 players or 4 players, you get to see more of those special tiles come out and break some rules of the game. And those special tiles are pretty cool, so I did like it better at the higher player count. Another con that I have with this game is that you have to know it's incredibly light and incredibly simple. It says ages 9+. I would agree. I played with some kids in my class. They didn't have any issues with it. It's just play the higher number, and then every once in a while, use your milk tokens or combine your milk tokens. I didn't show you the middle part, but you can actually save up a whole bunch of the milk tokens if you want, and then play a whole bunch of your cards at the same time and be like, ha ha ha. It's not... It can be a good idea, but it's not the best idea, because if you do that, then chances are everyone else is going to go out, and then you're not going to get a milk token. You know what? That's my biggest con with this game. I'm going to tell you that I think this is a good game. I had fun with this game every time that I played it. The people that I played it with generally had fun with the game. It's good. But I just wanted a little bit more strategy in this game, and I felt like I was so close to seeing that said strategy. Each time we'd play, I'd be like, oh man, I'm really going to get the strategy down this game. I'm going to be paying attention to what cards I play and what cards I don't play, or when I use my special tiles and when I don't use my special tiles, and I just never saw it. I didn't. It just felt like, oh, we're playing cards to play cards. It felt like more of a social game where you just sit around, you chit-chat, and that's not a terrible thing. You know, I enjoy social games where you just sit around, maybe drink a beer, you talk with people, you enjoy each other's company. Not much strategy to the game. But with this game, it just felt like there could be that element of strategy, that extra layer there that I was not seeing, and I did not see it, and nobody I played it with really saw it, which was a bummer, because I feel like that could have potentially upped this game even more. Last con I have with this game is that the special ability tiles don't feel that well balanced. It feels like some of them are like, oh, this is pretty dang good. I would use this every single game. Then this one's like, well, why would I ever use this? Like, oh, I can only play odds. Everybody can only play odds. Cool. What does that do for me? Maybe I got a lot of odds. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure there is strategy there. We just could not see it. But moving on to the pros, Monster Crunch, the breakfast battle game, is good. It's a fun game. I enjoyed it every single time I played it. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to keep it, because good is not good enough anymore. There's hundreds of games coming out in the hobby every single year, and you need to be great. You need to either be great or have a very specific niche in order for me to keep you on the shelf. And unfortunately, Monster Crunch, the breakfast battle game, does not have it. Oh, last con I have of this game is that the theme is completely pasted on. This theme could be about literally anything else. And, oh, well, you know, let's be brutally honest here. The only reason why this game is going on the Target shelf is because this particular theme was pasted onto the game. Moving on to the pros, it's easy to learn, it's easy to teach, it's fun. And I liked the ladder element. I did like the special ability tiles. I liked how interesting and diverse some of them were. I like the fact they're one-time use. I would have liked them... I really like the fact that you don't get anything for not utilizing them. That's one thing that annoys me when games are like, all right, you have this super awesome ability here. I want you to make the choice between using the super awesome ability or gaining 2 points at the end of the game. It's like, come on, man, I want to use this. I want to use this cool ability. Don't hand it to me and say, you can use it, but it's going to handicap you. So I do like the fact that you just use it. Like, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I do like that fact. I like the artwork. The components are top-notch. The rule booklet's very well done. And in the end, the Monster Crunch Battle game is a good game. It's not a great game, and I feel like this is going to be one of those games that inevitably is lost in time. It's one of those games where people are like, what? That came out? Like, in 10 years, they'll be like, really? There was a game? Like a hobby game based off of the cereal dudes? That happened? I feel like that's what people are going to say in like 10 years from now. Be like, yeah, it was a big deal. Gen Con release. Saw a whole bunch of people carrying around with bowls of or with boxes of cereal. But unfortunately, not one I'm keeping on the shelf. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know, what is your favorite cereal of all time? For me personally, it used to be Fruity Pebbles, but since then, I went back and I've revisited Fruity Pebbles, and they're not as delicious as I remember. For now, I would probably go with, oh man, I like stuff with crunch, and I like stuff that's sugary. I don't need marshmallows, but if it has marshmallows, I'm okay with it. I'm going to go with chocolate cornflakes. Not chocolate cornflakes. Chocolate Tony the Tigers. So it's like the Frosted Flakes, the chocolate Frosted Flakes. Those things, oh, those are good. Plus they make your milk taste chocolatey. Love them. Let me know in the comments below. What's your cereal of choice? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.